What's up, motor people? Welcome to another episode of MotorCarNow, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. I have an old guitar that I've had sitting around for a long time. Always wanted to do something with it, automotive themed based, and I decided to finally do it with the Focus RS as the inspiration for it. You'll see the rendering idea and then the final product that I made. So this is all done with spray paint, and the only extra thing you're going to need is vinyl cutouts, unless you're really good at freehand, and some masking tape. So I'll take you through all the steps so you can kind of see how I did it. This isn't the perfect way to do it, but it'll get the job done, as you'll see at the end. So I went ahead and laid down a color that I thought closely matched the RS logo, sprayed it on the lower part of the guitar first, and then placed my vinyl over it to protect it. So next you'll see that now I want to do the white outline of the RS, and I looked at a bunch of different logos. There's a little bit of variations, but this is the one I liked and found online. So I go ahead and do the trim part here. This is a little bit bigger stencil of the RS logo, and you'll see how the blue is popping out in between the vinyl I'm laying down right now. Okay, so for the second part, I had to put the white trim around the RS logo. Now, I'm not really good at freehand, so that's why I went ahead and made a bigger stencil so that I can spray paint the white around the RS logo, so it matches the more of the old logo compared to more of the modern logo right now for the RS. Okay, so now you'll see that I protect the area around it. I don't want any white spray paint going anywhere else but the trim area. Now, the one thing I did find out here is to use the satin paints, nothing with a gloss on it, because that makes it really difficult to take it off afterwards. Not really removing the vinyl, but you'll see here that the paint stayed a lot more wet longer. So when I took it off, it kind of had little stringies, stretchy effect on the outside when I was taking off the vinyl. So use flats and satin colors for all your paint when you're doing this project, in my recommendation from trying it out. I did this again with another project and it had the same problem. So I think for all my future projects, I'm going to make sure to use this satin so it doesn't have this issue again. So you'll see that I went ahead and put some heat on there and dried it out to make sure that I didn't accidentally mark up the white or ruin it. And now I am putting the RS logo. Now this is a bigger RS logo, and I am covering everything I've painted so far and want to protect. So now my white trim is protected, and then the blue underneath there. So you can see how underneath the R and the S, there's that lighter part of blue. That's the extra white. Luckily for me, since I'm going to be adding stripes here, I went ahead and was able to paint over that. So it is an error, but luckily the next layer of paint is going to fix it. So here I ordered specifically the tape that was thin, because I didn't want to try to make my own strips of tape, because that was going to be a nightmare, and I wanted this to look as clean as possible. So I'm pretty much just eyeballing this and using the concept photo that I used to put it together. And I kind of got inspired to using seeing them, this is done with like Mustang inspired guitars, and I thought it looked good. So this one, I thought I had a little bit of a flake to it, so I got some blue that had a little bit of a shimmer in it. I thought it would look a little bit different and break it apart from the back. And yeah, so that's how, in my head it would come out a lot nicer. Now here you're seeing that I went ahead and taped off everything around there. Again, I don't want any blue glitter paint going anywhere it's not supposed to. And you can see in the video how it's completely sparkling right there. So it was even worse spraying it. So make sure you're wearing something to cover your face at all times with this, because it's spray paint. It's hard. It's harsh chemical. So now here I went ahead, I dried it. Now I took off all the tape I had around it, and now I am getting ready to protect it by now covering up all the stuff I just painted, because now I want the guitar white. So whatever I don't want painted again, I'm covering it. So now I'm covering my blue stripes. The RS logo underneath there is still protected by that original vinyl. I'm adding in another strip of thin strip tape so I can go ahead and protect the blue stripes, and that's pretty much it. Then I'm just going to go ahead and put it all together and start spraying the white down. So now here comes the white. Now this was supposed to be a little bit of an off-white. I didn't want a bright white, but this color was supposed to be a little bit more of an off-white, but once it laid down, it pretty much just looked like regular white. So it was fine with me because the car I have is white, so it still matches, but I was trying to go for a little bit of a older look to it. So just go back and forth with the spray paint. Just try not to spray too much at one time, and you'll probably see here how I have that rag covering half of the guitar. Well, I wasn't confident enough to cut the wires so that I can resolder them. So underneath the rag are the pickups and the volume and tone controls underneath there. That's the word I was looking for. So actually the paint still didn't come out bad. I was worried that having to shoot it kind of in sections would ruin it, but I went ahead and made sure that section was dry, and then moved the equipment over and sprayed down the white on the rest of it, and it worked out perfectly fine. So making sure it was dry is really what helped it out. And I think too, since it's white, it was a little bit more forgiving than maybe if it was like a black or a darker color. So now I'm just finishing off the rest of it and painting the rest of the guitar white and drying it out. And here is the most fun part of doing these projects. It's like Christmas morning. It's removing the tape and seeing your final product. So this is always the most exciting part, whenever doing something like this. And I hope when you're seeing this, it does inspire you to say, hey, it's just spray paint, it's just paint, just try it. That's what I did. I've always wanted to lay down stripes and racing stripes, so I figured this would be a best place to start. It's like $100 Squire Fender guitar, so if I ruin it, I just scratch off all the paint and start from the beginning and paint it one solid color if it was that bad. So now you're seeing me remove the middle tape. This one, I believe, was a satin color, so I did have less of a headache taking off all that tape, and that really did help me out. So again, the big key is make sure you buy all satins or flat colors, because it's going to make your project a nightmare. And then also too, this is the part where you want to take your time, because you don't want to ruin all that work you just did. And remember too to use actual painter's tape, because you don't want anything really aggressive to rip off all that beautiful paint you just laid down. And then finally, the part I was most afraid about was the actual RS logo itself, and it did survive all that work. Now, you could do it backwards too, and I shouldn't say backwards because I think I did it backwards, where you could lay down the white first and then spray down the stripes, but I was just worried of me trying to spray down that RS logo itself over the pearl color, that was going to come through, and I really wanted that RS to be a flat blue or off blue color, so it's stuck out compared to the stripes itself in the front. So, and then after that, went ahead and sprayed down a nice clear coat over it, a nice gloss. Now, here's something I royally screwed up on my first attempt at doing hydro dipping. I wanted to do a carbon fiber theme for the pick guard, but I really failed at it. I didn't lay down the tape correctly, and there was a wrinkle in the actual material, so it let the water sink on top. So, that's what you're supposed to do, is screw up and learn for the next time. So it came out okay. I mean, it has a faded, really black look to it, but I didn't mind it after all. So here is the final guitar one more time, and again, still love the work I put into it. I did have to do a simple wet sand on there to get this to lay down a little bit more, and then I did do a polish on there, which I didn't record, just like you were finishing off any paint, and that actually helped take it to the next level, especially on the back part. So again, get out there, just try it. I mean, this can work for skateboards or any other little items you have around the house that you want to just customize. Again, spray paint, it's like $6 a can. Just get the satin, and I have a nice piece of artwork now, even if I really suck at playing it. So thank you, Motor People, for watching this episode. If you have any comments, questions, just drop them down below, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.